Peggy's taking the night off. She's with her grandchildren doing Easter stuff. So I said, you're off tonight, Peggy. So hopefully she's having an enjoyable time. But I still do have a lot of questions. And you can still send questions, but the come Monday, they might be a moot point. And many of you have asked, are we going to do Courtroom Insider next week? Yes, we're definitely going to do Monday unless I'm on verdict watch. And if that happens, I'm planning to stay in Arizona several days after, hoping to get interviews with people. I have requested interviews with many of the people that you want to hear from, so hopefully we can set those up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then kind of do some recaps through the week. And then we'll do some Courtroom Insiders. Normally, by the way, if you're new, I've done Courtroom Insider every Thursday, not just on the Vallow case. Every Thursday night I go live talking about a different true crime something or other. We had on a Ted Bundy victim. We had on Ted Bundy's cousin. We had on Robbie Parker, whose daughter was killed at Sandy Hook. We've had other cases that we feature. And so if there's other cases that you want me to look into, especially people that will do interviews, or if you're one yourself, that you have a fascinating case that maybe no one's heard of, please email me, because I'm always looking for cases that could use a little light, that could use a little, that are interesting and fascinating. So please send me an email if you want to do that. Okay, Becky asks, Nate, I followed you from the beginning. Somewhere along the line, I missed the information of where and how Lori's side of the family got wind of the intervention and that Adam was involved. If you can just tell me where to look instead of telling me, unless you want to, I'll look for it. We've reported on the fact about Adam and Charles somewhat planning an intervention or some sort of something. As far as the extent to which Summer, Janice, and that side of the family knew, I don't know if we've known all of those details. Summer has talked with me about it. I think she spoke with me about it at CrimeCon, and we did an interview after. But I've asked Summer if she will consider doing an interview with me next week so she can talk about those texts. I want to ask her about those texts because really there are some questions. That being said, I don't know if they know now more now than then, but it would be good to hear from them. So yes, Adam and Charles were planning that intervention. Hi, Nate. My friend and I booked airfare to come to Phoenix to sit on Lori Vallow's trial on April 30th. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kathy. The trial will be over by then. My friend and I want to reschedule our flights to come to the Boudoir trial. I know the judge scheduled the dates, but I can't remember when they are. What day do you think are the best days to come, and what hotel do you stay at, so maybe we can book there too? Well, I move around hotels just to see the different areas and whatnot, but wherever I can get the cheapest rate, to be honest with you. And I don't stay by there are hotels downtown that are pricey, but right by the courthouse. So you can stay there, and there's like the Hilton brand. I have a weird reflection, in my head. There's a Hilton, there's a Marriott, and there's other hotels that you can stay at. I drive in, and I reserved a parking spot for a month downtown. So that's normally you'll catch me walking from my car to my car, which Teton Toyota here in Idaho Falls has been so generous to me, and they loan me this car. Thank you to them. They do rent out cars if you're looking. As far as the dates, so that's answering your question for the hotel. The dates, jury selection is going to be May 30th. The trial will run June 2nd through the 6th. That's the first week. June 9th through the 13th. So the first 2 weeks of June, assuming it goes all the way. This trial was 7 days. That's 10 days. And then, if needed, June 23rd through the 25th. So if you really want to go, I would suggest going the first week of June if you're really dying to go. So hopefully that answers your questions, Kathy. And it would be great to meet you. I'd like to come on Monday. Do you believe there will be seats? What time do you recommend arriving at the courthouse? Thanks for what you do. I'm a therapist and find the whole case fascinating. Enjoy Easter, Crystal. Crystal, I don't know what time to tell you to get there, but I think it will be packed. It will be packed, and there are about 45 to 50 public seats thus far. However, I could see on Monday there being fewer because the prosecution might have people coming in. The detectives might want to come in for the verdict. So you cannot camp out. They're not allowing people to camp out at this courthouse, so don't plan to spend the night. But The line for the last one started at 7:30. For the opening statement day, the line began at 7:30. That's when the courthouse opened. So yeah, I hope that helps. And you can always, we'll be streaming it all day long on eastidahonews.com on our YouTube channel. Let me see what other questions we have. Nate, are you tired of talking about this case yet? I don't think so. I mean, it's been with me for a long time, and I know it's just part of the job and part of what it is. It has been nice sometimes, when I'll get home to unplug from Daybell and do other news and focus on other things. I don't think I could be a true crime reporter 100% of the time. But I do find it, I meet so many amazing people, and there's so many stories behind the headlines of incredible people. And that's one thing I really like about it. Okay, here we go. Thanks for all the work you're doing. Where are Charles's boys? They've decided not to attend. They have really been out of the spotlight. Obviously, this is very traumatic for any family. I've spoken with them a few years ago and spoken with their mother, Cheryl, and she's done a couple of interviews. I interviewed her, but they've kind of been out of the spotlight. I think that they're now young men, and they are just, choosing not to go. I'm sure they're following it, but they want to move on with their lives. It sounds like they have not been at court. Is Kay in touch with them? I don't know the relationship with Kay. Are they okay? Have you spoken with them? Again, I think I answered those questions. This is Jennifer. Also, will you be talking with the jurors after Lori's trial? I would love to. I would love to. I hope to talk with them next week, and maybe a group of them like I did at Chad's trial, which I thought was fascinating. We all met up at a park at a pavilion and sat down, and we just talked for an hour. And then I met with the other young man who was at Chad's trial. I remember it was raining, and we met underneath a canopy at a park, like a pavilion, and the kids, there were ducks swimming around. I say the kids because I don't know if you can hear my kids' music. They're playing back there. So yes, I would love to interview the jurors. Hi, Nate. I'm from Belgium. I've been following the case from the beginning. This is Bulvana. My question for you about this case: if Lori decides to rest, will the jury be given a chance to raise a question or two to her? No, unless she testifies, they can't ask a question. Good question, though. They won't be able to hear anything from witnesses, and she might not be testifying. How will their doubts be cleared? They won't. They'll have those questions forever. I suppose even if they would, that you're not going to really get an answer, I don't think, like from her directly. I wish you the best, sending you good wishes from Belgium. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. There's a few others I know, but we might stop there. I do want to give a shout out to our friend Lindsay, who is recovering in the hospital from a surgery that had some complications. Lindsay, we're hoping for you. Erica was there this morning at the hospital and wishing the best for you. Shoot, I also wanted to show you all. I stopped by my office today at East Idaho News, and there was a really cool Courtroom Insider thing that a woman had sewn or crocheted, or I don't know the word, but it's a really cool thing that I'm going to hang up in my office. I wanted to show it to you. I'll show it to you next week when I get back, but assuming I'll be back. I want to thank you for sending that too, and the kind cards that were waiting for me in the office. Thank you for that. All right, everybody. A couple other shout outs too, of course, to my family, to the wonderful people who have supported East Idaho News at Browning Law, Alan Browning. We had him on yesterday. If you didn't catch his interview, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel or my Facebook page. He had some really interesting insights from a defense perspective. He's a defense attorney, and he has practiced for a long time in Idaho Falls. A lot of people know him. So thanks to Browning Law for sponsoring Courtroom Insider. Another question I've been asked a lot is, can you continue to do Courtroom Insider every night? If you mean every night forever, that would probably kill me. I'd probably need to hire a producer or somebody to help me, because I'm kind of doing this. Well, Peggy helps a lot, don't get me wrong. But we'll do it during Brandon Boudreau's case. Pretty sure we'll do it during Koberger's case. And then if other trials come along, I'm already looking at some trials later this year, maybe. Well, probably next year. So if you have any trials, again, send them to me and let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this sudden, surprising Courtroom Insider. Back Sunday night, I'm going to break down the witnesses. the 19 witnesses we heard from, the key parts from each of their testimony that the jurors will now go back on Monday and think about and talk about and maybe review the transcript and maybe review everything they said. I'm going to pull down like quick little bites from each witness to kind of bring the whole case together. And then we'll join Verdict Watch together. I'll be live likely. I think I'll be live Monday morning on the way into the courthouse. My flight gets into Phoenix on Sunday, so it's going to be a whirlwind of a couple days. Can't thank you enough for your support. Many of you asking if you can still get a shirt. Yes, you go to eastidahonews.com/shop, SHOP. We have a selection there, and then when I get back here to Idaho for a few weeks, I'll let you know when I can start signing your shirts if you wait to buy those. Okay, that's it. Have a great night, everybody. This has been Courtroom Insider. Thanks for watching.